quarterbacks and they're like, "Oh, he ain't worth it."
Exactly.
It's market. It doesn't matter what they're worth anymore. It's a fact of that's where we're headed. Let me ask you guys something, and I want you all to be very honest with me. Do you think any quarterback is worth that type of money? I don't, personally.
Not even
So
Patrick Mahomes.
if you're not named Patrick Mahomes, you don't deserve any of this money.
I
And
totally agree with that.
I don't care, even from my team, Dak Prescott's not worth $60 million, but that's what he got.
Fuck no.
You go out and you get what you can get. And the crazy thing to me is people point out shit and they'll say, well, what's Dak won? Okay, what's Lamar Jackson won?
2 MVPs.
What's Josh Allen won?
An MVP.
Okay, they've won MVPs. That's
they won rings.
That's not going to say that it's not a ring.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying they're
between them.
They have 3 MVPs. That's all I'm saying.
Did you see that? Yeah, but did you see what Josh Allen did today?
Yeah.
250 million guaranteed, and he ain't won shit.
Yep.
Shit.
So, for all the Cowboy haters out there that can't stand the Cowboys and Dak isn't worth it, he's overpaid. Well, this is the new multimillionaire on the block. And that would be Josh Allen.
Yep.
So we are seeing and my favorite that I have to talk about, because I could see how this conversation went down already. And I'm talking about Myles Garrett.
Ooh.
I want out. You guys aren't going to win anything. Hey, we're going to pay you $40 million a year.
Okay.
Where do I sign? I'm in.
Hey, George.
We're good.
I want to go play with a contender and a winner. Chance to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, well.
Yeah, he wants to go watch it. He wants to go watch
JP said
and watch a winner.
Like JP said, all he did was just sign himself up not to win a ring.
Yep. Sometimes, man.
Shout out to the All-Pro Joffos.
But I mean, you look at some of this stuff, and I'm like, I was a little shocked. Aaron Jones back with Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Najee Harris is now
Chargers.
Williams signs with the Cowboys. I was a little shocked at that.
No, what's shocking?
You took my long snapper too. You took my special teams long snapper.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that has shocked me the most is the Chicago Bears actually spending money.
Giving the Panthers.
Well, you know what? I'm not surprised at Chicago Bears, and I'll tell you why. Because with their new coach, I'm sure
they need that.
Johnson went in there and he said, "Look, we're going to do it my way, or I'm not coming."
Yep. I agree.
But again,
and they went, "Okay."
Would that would that be the same mindset if Virginia McCaskey did not pass away?
Well, like you said, they didn't spend money. They didn't spend money when they were running the show.
Correct.
Probably not. But I mean, when you look at all these teams, I mean, do you want to stay stagnant? And realistically, I don't think you can. And this has been the argument. You can't build 100% from the draft, and you can't build 100% from a free agency.
There has to be balance.
Balance. You got to have balance.
You have to have and the teams that figure out the best way to plug their holes with players and bring in young talent are the ones that succeed year in and year out. So going back to this, I'm one of the bigger surprises to me with the wide receivers is Chris Godwin, because a lot of people thought he was gone.
They said that man lost $20 million. Well, he could have had 20 extra million on his contract. But then again, comfortability. Maybe he didn't want a different change of scenery. He was comfortable there.
No. You got to start looking at things like the players look at. Guess who doesn't have income tax?
State of Florida.
Exactly. State of Texas.
Don't income taxes. Vegas.
Now, here's the thing. When you start to look at these players and their movement, I was really surprised at Devontae Adams, because I'm like, dude, if he would have went to a place like, and I'm throwing stuff out there, if he would have went back to the Raiders, yeah, we know that's not going to happen. If he would have went to Seattle, if he would have went to he can't go to Frisco because the income tax there is outrageous.
Don't want him in Santa Clara anyway. Just like I don't want Joseph Anthony Bosa. No.
Oh, he's coming. Get ready for it.
You know what? You know what? You stop that ish.
Well, we're on Talking Ish, so I get to talking.
Well, look, you guys. The truth of the matter is, if you have the proofs in the pudding, right? If these guys could take less if they go to certain teams, because the income tax bracket isn't that bad for them if they stay in certain states. So, we have to take that in consideration. I really think some of these guys do that.
And
as we said, Adams going to Rams.
The other NFL states that don't have state tax. You already mentioned Florida and Texas. The other one would be Tennessee, the Titans, Washington, the Seahawks, as you just mentioned, and of course Nevada here in where me and Chris reside in. So basically, you kind of get shocked sometimes when the teams that are in the states that do have no state tax don't get a lot more when it comes to free agency, which is which is beyond me. But
it's not surprising all at the same time. I mean, that's why these guys, personally, I think they go after a little bit more money in certain states and ask for a little bit less in others.
But realistically, I just really think Godwin just wants to stay because, I mean, really, he's got a good situation. He's got a good situation in Tampa. I mean, Baker
and
Mayfield's
him and Mike Evans make a good 1-2 punch.
Exactly. Baker Mayfield's playing the best football of his life. You got a steal in a 4th-round pick in Bucky Irving. You got a very solid tight end in Cade Otton, and of course, like I said, you got number 13 on the other side to complement you, and you also have on the way receiver in McMillan who played very well in Godwin's absence when Godwin was hurt. So I mean,
there's some nucleus there in Tampa.
Yeah, as you said, the fact is, okay, what am I leaving? What's the situation going on with the team I'm with?
Yeah.
And let me weigh my options.
Well, and I think that you also got to think of the division they play in. I mean, as much as I hate to say it, you could be mediocre and play in the Southern Division and actually win. So,
true.
Yeah.
You start to think about those things too, because I mean, some teams or some players actually want to play.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
wow. Okay. Yeah, I would say
on that one.
All that on the NFL.
You know what? That deserves that because that was a very passionate comment.
Is this the new
Lord?
You didn't upload the new one, did you?
Not yet. Give me a second.
Okay. It's okay. We can use that one for now.
But that
man, what a way to come on the show.
Yeah, man. I mean that is swinging for the fences. My goodness.
Hey, he called his shot on that one.
Man,
he
crazy? Put that in the water.
He ain't wrong though.
No, he's not. No, that's what makes it so funny.
That's when you I want out. I want to go play for a contender. Well, let's throw this money at you and see how you feel. Yeah, I'm gonna stay.
Well, what's the saying, brother? We all know it better. Money talks, bullshit walks.
Well, Miles Garrett just became Indian.
Oh,
he said just like this.
Oh.
Namaste.
Namaste.
So it is what it is, man. You
have
these players.
I'm not mad at him. Get your money, brother.
Well,
get
it. Look, who's when you start to look at some of these teams, and you gotta ask yourself, who the hell's playing quarterback for Cleveland next year?
Exactly.
That's a good question.
The same thing in Pittsburgh.
They don't have money to make any moves.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to check out their cap situation because I think that they are. I don't know that they're the lowest, but they are not in good shape cap wise. We all know the team that has the most money to spend are the Patriots.
They're 100. Bears.
And they have been doing that.
Oh,
actually, no, the Bears are not as high as you think.
No, I'm talking about the Patriots.
Kenny Pickett and Cody Kessler.
But he said Miz said that the Bears, but actually it's the Patriots, Chargers, Cardinals, Steelers, Seahawks, Seahawks, Jaguars, Titans, Vikings.
Oh well, I thought that the Bears had the money the way they're throwing it out there. I thought they were up there because they've been throwing out some cash as well today.
Well, let me see if I can find where they're at. So the Chiefs have the least. They're going to have to do
a whole lot of negotiating.
Well, they've got to get under the salary cap if they want to. If you want to participate in the draft, you have to be under the salary cap. So 100%. That would be the Saints and Dolphins all need to go under the salary cap because they are.
That changes some things.
Yeah, Bears have $42 million to spend.
Okay.
So they don't.
They still got rookie money. They got rookie money. They're good. They can maybe get 2 more big names, maybe a third, depending on how they want to sign. But I know that some of that has to be allocated for the rookies, right? Or is that separate?
Rookie pool, I think they say.
Do they have a cap? Or do they have a cap for that?
No, there's no real cap. What it is it's slotting. So round 1, everybody's slotted with how much they're going to make. So the players already know how much their guy's going to make in round 1.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense then. That makes sense.
So hold on, Kenny Pickett and Cody Kessler.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, I know Kenny Pickett got traded.
Yeah, he's with the Browns, right?
Kenny Pickett is, yes, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson went to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes. And so Cody Kessler. So that tells me the Browns are drafting the quarterback. Because they're not rolling into week 1 with no Kenny Pickett, I can promise you that.
Well, here's the problem though. If you draft a quarterback, now you're going to have, don't forget, like I said, slotted money, right?
So they still got Deshaun Watson on the book.
Exactly. So now you're going to be paying 2 quarterbacks.
Then a rookie. No, yeah, they might trade that pick then.
No, why trade it? What you're doing is you're trying to do what a lot of these teams do, right? You as you go through these years, let me see. Salary cap is $279 million this year.
That should be 300 next year.
Next year, and then 311 by 2026. So if you start to break that down, in 2027, the Browns actually have $137 million.
Ain't nobody said they legitimate.
Well, next year they get out of cap hell, they'll actually have $2 million available in cap space. If they don't do anything.
They're gonna be cutting that. They're gonna be messed up that franchise a lot. They're gonna be cutting a lot. They messed up when they got Deshaun Watson. That's
well, but they didn't know that he was gonna be, injury prone like he is. I mean, no team knows when 100%. A guy's injury prone. 100%. I mean, calling the Browns a legitimate franchise is like saying a massage therapist is safe around Deshaun Watson. They're safe as long as they're male.
Well, people forget that the Browns have had some very good players in their franchises. They're in a very bad situation right now.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. But I mean, it's just this year. I mean, they're starting to come out of it next year. And so I think that they have an opportunity to do something. I mean, look, you have blow 'em up years. I would like to say that was my Cowboys situation last year, but in reality, who knows what the hell Jerry Jones is thinking? I mean, I don't. And I won't claim to. Jerry is a horse of a different color. When you make that much cap space and you then redo contracts for your 2 top players and you create even more cap space
and don't use it,
and you haven't friggin' signed Micah Parsons yet, dumbass. It's the same thing that I said, and I continue to say, when you prolong signing your stars, the market gets set before you sign them. Therefore, you're paying.
The moment Max Crosby signed his deal, you should have been negotiating with Parsons before Derek got his.
Before that.
Well, that too. But I'm just saying, the moment Max signed his deal, you should have been on the phone with his agent, trying to get that something done.
I think it's interesting because, you're also talking about Parsons, who's come out and said that he's willing to take less to get more people on the squad to do, and then I hear, oh, that's a true team player. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's one of those situations where every contract in the NFL can be reworked to create cap space.
Yep.
So he could take his, $35 million a year, and it'll cut their cap space. I think they said it'll give them between 12 and 14 million more this year.
Ooh,
could be looking at Cowboys with $69 million in cap space this year. And by the way, just so that way everybody understands, next year Cowboys would, even with all that, they would still have 54 million in cap space, and then 2027, 112 million in cap space.
Damn.
So
and especially with the cap going up next year, that's huge.
It's going up over the next 2 years. Cap always goes up, and that's why so many of these teams try to push their monies into the future, because that bill never truly comes due because of the way the cap keeps going up.
Yep.
I mean, look, you're getting $20 million next year in cap space, and the following year it's going from 5, 10, so it's going up $16 million the following year. I mean, come on, man.
Somebody in that office ain't doing their money calculations right.
No, somebody in that office can't freaking count to 20 without taking their shoes and socks off. But that's just me. But going back, when you start to look at all these teams that have made moves already, right now, as much as I hate to say it, I think the team that's on a tear right now is definitely the Jacksonville Jags.
Yep.
They're trying to put a team out there that everybody's going to envy. I mean, some of these moves that they're making
are sharp, real sharp.
Well, they traded Tunsil to Washington for like 5 picks.
No, that was the Commanders.
No, the Commanders got him from the Texans.
Oh, that's right. No, Tunsil was
No, he was the Texans. He went to Washington.
Now he's in Washington.
Yeah, that's right. And Texans got a friggin'
picks.
Yeah, they got although they're not high picks, they're still picks.
They added on to their whatever picks they have though. That's going to be huge. Especially if they use them right, or they can use them to trade up.
Supplemental draft picks. Whenever a free agent signs, whoever you get a supplemental draft pick.
Oh, my Raiders are getting a few. We lost 3.
So is my team. With all these people they lost, they're getting supplemental draft picks.
Yep.
Well, every team does. It just depends on who you lose. And the unfortunate thing, do you know that
we lost 3 starters?
Yeah, but if any of them were rookie free agents, you won't get any compensation for them.
Oh well, Nate Hobbs was on his rookie contract.
Well, no, rookie contracts they do count. What I'm saying is, if you signed them as a rookie free agent after the draft, and they turned out to be one of your best players, it doesn't matter. You don't get compensation for those guys.
No, they're all starters, all either drafted or signed.
Well, so again, I can't remember the way it's broken down for those comp picks, but I know that not everybody is. Not every team for those comp picks when you lose a player. Not every player will give you a comp pick is basically what I'm trying to say.
I think we'll get out of the 3, we might get 2. We might get 2 out of them.
But I mean, we'll see what continues to happen. I mean, we haven't talked about, these guys really in depth with what's going on. Like I'm just going to throw somebody out here. Devontae Adams going to the Rams. You did say Puka Nacua and their quarterback Stafford. I don't. If anybody can convince me that Devontae Adams is that much of an upgrade over Cooper Kupp right now,
he's not. He's not.
Because to me,
I'm not gonna argue that.
he's not that big of an upgrade. And I also think that Devontae Adams has lost a step.
I'm not arguing that.
So
I'll take Cooper Kupp over Adams all day.
Well, and the thing about it is, do they think
right now, this Devontae Adams. I ain't saying Devontae Adams, Green Bay days. Now that's a different subject. That's a different subject for a different topic. But if I'm looking at right now, I think Kupp is more better to be on the team than Devontae.
Well, and I think that one of the players that was underrated in this wide receiver core was Josh Palmer, who went to Buffalo.
Where did he go? Oh, yes, from the Chargers to Buffalo. Yeah. Oh, I know about him. Seen him twice a year.
I think that's absolutely huge for Buffalo. They needed another wide receiver. Yep. After that, there's not a whole lot of big names that went anyplace else. Those were the biggest right now. I think the other one, let me see if I can find it. So Khalil Mack re-signed with the Chargers.
You knew that was going to happen the moment they released Bosa.
Yeah. The big one to me, well, there's two. And I didn't see this. Hassan Reddick signed with Tampa Bay.
That's huge.
I did not see that.
He'll get used proper with that defense.
And then Josh Sweat went to
Arizona. Good luck, Dub.
Yeah.
That's twice a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with that.
But you also had Milton Williams signing with the Patriots.
Panthers. Mm-hmm. That's huge too.
Mm-hmm.
For $104 million.
Was that 4 years?
4 years, $104 million.
Yeah,
I think they said it was guaranteed.
Money was spent today. I tell you that it was getting tossed. Yeah.
Oh, like I said, I would love that 10%. Give me 10% of all the monies that was spent today.
Because it was millions getting tossed around today.
Just before we came on the air, Byron Murphy is staying in Minnesota.
Yep.
That's
huge. That's huge. Because he was linked to my organization.
He was, yes.
I do not like Najee Harris and Inglewood. I don't like that one.
Not a fan.
I mean,
Josh Gordon.
That's a good.
Because he said he'd light it up.
You saw that yet?
Oh, that's great.
Great talent, just could not put the weed down.
Well, I mean,
it was a lot of more than just that, too, though.
Yeah.
It was a little more.
He was a great talent. I mean, and thing about it is he did light it up. Unfortunately, he lit it up one too many times.
He was lighting it up like I'm about to light it up.
Yep. But I mean, look, as we move through this,
also,
and
Slayton decides to stay in East Rutherford, and they need a quarterback.
Say again.
Darius Slayton staying in East Rutherford
on
a 3-year, $37 million deal. Who's going to throw him the ball? Is the question.
Right. What the hell?
They say Aaron Rodgers.
DeVito, whatever the hell's name.
Tommy DeVito.
Hey.
Tommy DeVito.
Hey.
And as to mention, just like you talked about the Panthers, well, the Panthers took away from the Chiefs as they signed Treshaun Wharton to a 3-year deal over $45 million.
Mm-hmm.
And he can also earn up to 9 in incentives. And he was an undrafted rookie free agent, so the Chiefs will not get compensation for him.
Well, and it's interesting because, like I said, we already talked about this. Dre Greenlaw signed with the Broncos.
I'm not ready for that at all.
Ernest Jones signed with Seattle. Re-signed with Seattle, excuse me.
Yes.
Sherwood re-signed with the Jets.
Dre Greenlaw leaving broke my heart, but again, I understand why he left.
He wants to be his own defense.
Man, I'll tell you what, Arizona's making some moves.
Yeah,
they are.
They are.
Akeem Davis Gaither is now a Cardinal. Who else has made some moves? Oh, DJ Reed signing with Detroit.
That was huge.
Signing with Indianapolis. Brian Murphy re-signing with the Vikings, which we said. Carlton Davis signs with the Patriots. Nate Hobbs is now a Packer.
That hurt. That hurt.
Yeah, that would hurt.
Robert Spillane signing with the Patriots. That also hurt.
Yep. Isaiah Rodgers signing with Minnesota as well. Man, Minnesota's making some moves too. Dante Jackson is now a Charger. Jordan Lewis, the ex-Cowboy, is now a Jaguar. And
Grady Jarrett going to the Bears after being released by Atlanta.
That's huge for their middle too.
Well, yeah, it gives Montez Sweat some help.
It does.
I think it gives him a little help, but I think Grady is I think he's a little past his prime.
Okay.
And then you got, let's see, safeties, Bynum to the Colts. Let's see who else is that's probably Jeremy Chin is now Raider.
Yes.
Molden is now, or he re-signs with the Chargers, and Kisco is now a Jet. Oh, and Eric Murphy signs with the Jags. So these guys are.
Well, the center that I wanted is a Chicago Bear. Damn it.
That Dome, what's his name?
Drew Dahlman, yeah, former
Drew Dahlman,
Falcon. Yeah. And then
I mean, there's my thought was that you guys were going to draft offensive linemen in this upcoming draft anyway.
They need to.
And there's a couple of centers that they were talking about that was a possibility for you guys. So
there's some coming out.
There's some. I think on the offensive line, center is probably, I'd say, one of the weaker. This is one of the weaker drafts for centers.
And don't forget who my head coach is, who doesn't like playing rookies, unless he has to.
True. This is true.
Yep.
And that's sad because y'all need them.
Definitely.
You need guys that are going to be coming in and doing some stuff now. Look.
Well, I think my team is set at center. We're good. We're good.
Well,
because I cannot take Jake Brindle for another season at center. I just can't. No.
Yeah, my team is good at center.
No. Yes, they are.
Oh, yeah. Kid was a rookie last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was the rookie that you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I think we all wanted him. We all wanted him.
And although he did have
fist pump when we got him.
Although he did have the phantom snap against Kansas City Chiefs, it cost you guys the game.
But what I love about it is he took it, owned up to it. You know,
it wasn't, but still, it should have been a false start. Anyway,
yeah, 100%.
We won't rehash that. We'll just leave that alone, and I'll light this up, and we'll call it good. But the interesting part is gonna be seeing where the rest of these people are going.
There's some good talent out there.
Well, and I mean, the bigger part about it is the top teams with money to spend. I mean, when you are talking about top 10, we said this: Patriots, Chargers, Cardinals, Chargers, Cardinals, Steelers, Seahawks, Jags, Titans, Vikings, Cowboys, and Lions.
Mm.
All those teams have over $50 million to spend.
Ooh.
All of them. Then you drop a tier, and it starts with number 11 with your Raiders, the Jets, the Giants, the Commanders, and the Packers.
Once they re-sign Geno Smith and extend him, that'll bring our money up a little bit. Plus, they took off Andre James, who we're cutting, and a few cuts. But if we're sitting there at 11, I like where we're at. Then we can still get somebody.
Right now, the other center I wanted
$29 million in dead cap.
Okay, yeah, we'll fix that.
Yeah.
We'll
And
fix
the
that.
other center that I wanted them to sign, he's now a Viking.
Yep.
Dub leaves, comes back on, and starts back over with where we left off. Our bad.
It's just my fan base gets on my nerves, and then my head coach gets on my nerves.
Well, and right now I'm looking at this. You guys are, holy crap. Your 49ers have the largest amount of dead cap that I've seen. $69 million.
Good Lord.
Well, it's only going to get bigger because I'm pretty sure I know they're trying to trade Ayuk. They just released Kyle Juszczyk, which was
That's sad.
That was
Let's
expected.
go, Moody. Let's go, Moody.
Hold on. You guys just signed Ayuk last year, and now you're talking about trading him?
Yep, because they didn't want to sign him to that contract.
There is a audio from an interview that I'm going to send to you that talks about that.
Okay.
Because quite apparently they did not want to pay what they paid anyway. Which again, if that's the case, then why did you pay him in the first place? But
should have let him come to Vegas.
What do I know? But however,
T-shirts are going to be coming up here pretty soon with that saying.
Whoa! What the heck is this? I don't know who this guy is. Offensive lineman Rob Jones agrees to a 1-year deal with the Cowboys.
Yeah, my Raiders signed a veteran cornerback, Lonnie Johnson Jr., formerly with the Panthers. Knew that was going to happen. Where they signed J.C. Horn and took Trevon Merrick. So expect that.
Man, these things are happening quick and quicker.
And hell, when we decide to close our eyes, it's still going to be happening overnight. We'll probably be waking up to deals.
Without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, look, this is now the fun season beside the gameplay. This is the fun season, and you got a lot of fans out there right now that are deep into Madden. And the reason why I say that, because they come up with some of the funkiest crap I've ever seen in my life, where it's like, oh, we're going to trade this player and this player for this player. And it's like, dude, you still need to give up like 2 first-round picks to get him. So are you trying that on Madden and it happened to work? So, I mean, that's why, you guys saw that text that I sent you where I just took a picture of what that guy had posted. And it's like, come on, man. You got to be real about what you're talking about when it comes to football. These guys take this. It's not even a matter about being serious. It's a friggin' business. They're trying to win games. Well, certain teams are trying to win games. I've been totally convinced that there's other teams out there that could give a shit less about winning. But these guys are out there. They're trying to win games. Some of them are just trying to get paid. I'm not saying any names, Miles. But, you have certain players out there that they're actually looking to get on a good team. They're willing to take a little less money to make that happen. And it kind of, I get it. Not every guy, not every team is going to make it to the Super Bowl. I get that. But when you got guys that have shown up, played well, and done what they should have, it's interesting to watch. That's all I'm saying. The Jets are using Tecmo Bowl to rate free agents this year. If you really wanted, I would have thought it would have been funnier because I brought up Madden. If you would have said that they're using Madden to rate their free agents, because guys are always arguing, oh man, my speed's much faster than you got me at an 89 and I should be a 95. Come on.
It reminds me of that NFL Game Day commercial with Robert Brooks, the former Packers receiver, who got mad because he was coming off his ACL injury, and he was mad because his video conversion couldn't run all the way to the end zone on a deep pass. He walked off the set. Reminds me of that.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've come to the point where we're worried about our Madden ratings and out there playing some football. That's crazy.
And the thing about it is, you got the kids with their contracts too, coming out of college, and it's like, okay,
NIL money,
NIL money has kind of ruined that. but let's be real. These kids were getting paid anyway. Now they can just do it above board. So, I mean, and yeah, now I'm seeing. Did you guys see the thing the other day that NIL money is actually going to be going to high school players now?
No way.
Yes.
So we about to start pampering these kids before they even make it to college?
So,
Yes.
Mizzle, do you know about the Elandon Roberts signing?
Who?
You guys just signed Steelers free agent linebacker Elandon Roberts on a 1-year deal worth $3 million. This just
My organization?
Yes, this just came up 2 minutes ago, reported by Adam Schefter.
That is definitely not replacing Robert Spillane. And he came from the Steelers?
Correct.
So we're just following the cycle again, because where did Spillane come from?
The Steelers.
Well, Steelers have some good linebackers, man.
This is true.
Also, did you know about them also signing former Panthers quarterback Lonnie Johnson?
I said that already, yeah.
I know. I was just asking.
No,
I said it. I mentioned it. I didn't know about the linebacker, which thank you.
Okay.
But I did mention about the cornerback that came from the Panthers.
Okay.
Which
I don't
really know. I really don't know who he is. I just know he's a veteran. So now I have to do my research on that and the Steelers linebacker. So I'm trusting this regime. So we'll see.
What I'm surprised about, though, looking at all this stuff, one of the things that shocked me the most was the fact of some of the teams. We saw a lot of stuff come fast and furious. Right about, I would say, 9:00 this morning, I think it started. And since then, it's been just going and going. But one of the surprises to me is how quiet. This is the part that's can be frustrating to a lot of fans, is how quiet some teams have been. It isn't about the ones that have made moves. It's about the ones that have not. And we see a lot of teams that are really quiet right now and kind of concerning. Now, granted, we still have a lot of free agency left. There's a lot of players that are out there in free agency right now, really good players. And I'm sure that they're out there having conversations with teams to figure out what they're going to do. So, and we've also got teams releasing players still. So, like they say, one man's trash is another man's treasure. So you don't know what is going to happen. It's all I could say is, tune in, because we will have, some shows talking about the free agency leading us into Super Bowl. So we know that there's going to be plenty more movement. This thing is going to get, as I'm looking at it right now, all these names are going to find another team. I don't see anybody retiring right now. And if they were thinking about it, I think they would have already done it. If they don't get picked up by another squad, that's the only time I think we'll see that happen. But Dub, is it concerning that your Niners haven't done anything yet?
No, because obviously people, just because you win day one of free agency doesn't mean you win the entire thing of free agency. Free agency is a process, okay? Okay. As I've said all day, and I will say this again, I am not crying a river over an Aaron Banks, Jalen Moore, Elijah Mitchell, Josh Dobbs, Talanoa Hufanga leaving. Okay? Trevarius Ward, I understand why he wanted to leave. Totally get it. And I'm rooting for the young man, and I hope he does well in Indianapolis. Like I said, the only legit person I'm sad of leaving is Dre Greenlaw, because I really wanted him back because just of how he was, just how dynamic he and Fred Warner was. But I know why he wanted to leave. Even with Robert Saleh coming back to be the defensive coordinator, he was not going to come back on a hometown discount 1-year prove-it deal. He was not.
I think he's felt that he proved enough.
And like I said, with Talanoa Hufanga, the minute Malik Mustafa showed that he could play, he was out the door. And the unfortunate thing about Hufanga is he's like Jason Verrett. Good when he's there, but as we always say, your best ability is availability. And Hufanga was not available. Okay, now Juszczyk, this is a money cut because, number one, he's getting paid too much money to be a fullback.
That shocked me. Do you think he'll come back?
He took a pay cut to come back last season. He's not going to take another. He's not going to take another pay cut.
Okay.
So
although he might, because not a lot of teams use fullbacks anymore.
That's true too.
That is very true.
That's a position that's become a lost art. But realistically, my thing is, if he took a pay cut to come back for this past season, why would you want to take another one to come? Why would you take another one to come back in 2025 unless he just really wants to be with the team? And if that's the
case, because maybe he knows that's where his role could be. Ain't nobody else going to use him as.
Again, if he wants to come back and takes less, I'm all for it. But however, he was making too much money for a fullback for a position that unfortunately has become a lost art in football. Because as you just said, there's not many teams that use a fullback. Like the Ravens are a team that uses the fullback. The Niners are. And I can't think of any other team that uses a fullback in their offense.
You rarely saw a fullback.
I forgot Minnesota with CJ. I like CJ. I'm a big CJ Ham fan. I like the way he plays football. Yeah. But those are the only few teams that actually use the fullback in their offense.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that, right now they have to look at Juszczyk and say, is he a upgrade to anything that's already being utilized? And I don't know. So my thought is he's either going to have to re-sign with your team, or he's going to, with 49ers, I got to stop saying your team like anybody out there really knows who we're talking about when we say that, unless you've been watching us. But, your team is the 49ers. He's got to re-sign with them or find a team that is willing to bring in a fullback or fullback his size that can play running back, and I don't know that he could do that.
Yeah.
Very valid point.
Solid.
As valid as you want to be.
Well, I mean, truth is the truth, and I know that some players don't always like to hear that, but I mean, what else can you do? So, when you start to talk about some of these players, like I said, it's going to be interesting to see where some of them end up. Some of the older players, is it time for them to retire? Some of the younger guys that are free agents now that really didn't strike a nerve with their team and are looking. Where is that going to go? There's a lot of guys right now that I'm kind of like following because I want to see where they're going to end up. I mean, not for nothing, Josh Allen being cut by the Commanders was a little shocking. Kind of surprised at that. I know he's 30 years old, but I'm kind of surprised about that because he's a hell of a run stuffer. A little surprised about his availability and some others. I mean, there's some guys out here that are free agents that I'm surprised have not been snatched up yet. Malik Collins is one. Jonathan Allen.
He'll fit in somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Javon Hargrave. I mean, I'm surprised that he's still out there.
I just think the Niners didn't use him properly.
Who didn't?
Well, now
the Niners.
Not only that, he was also hurt. He wasn't available, which is why, again, I do not want Joseph Anthony Bosa on my damn football team.
You gonna make me say it again?
It's going to be D Ford all over again. That's what that's going to be. If you want to go through that, Niners, you're idiots for doing that because D Ford stole money from you guys. He had the one season, then you never saw him again.
So,
man, once
the
mom boycotted for it, bro, you know what's happening.
Well, you know what? When it starts happening and it starts sucking, and they're both injured on the sideline, Mama Bosa, I told you so.
Wow. So you don't want the Bosa brothers to be together. Gotcha.
Why? Okay, why am I going to pay for two Bosas that over pursue and gives up open lanes for mobile quarterbacks to run up the gut? Because when Geno Smith beat the Niners on that touchdown run, who over pursued? Number 97. Who was that? Nicholas Jonathan Bosa. Watch when he over pursues. When he over pursues, if you're a mobile quarterback, that is heaven. Why do you think the Niners have struggled against Kyler Murray and the Cardinals?
The lanes are open.
Okay, and Bosa better be lucky. Bosa better be lucky he didn't have in his prime Russell Wilson in Seattle, because Russ would have been running about 100 yards per game with that.
So basically, what you're saying is, if that's the case, then you guys would be like Smiths, and anybody who wanted to check out, a new lane would open for them, huh?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Now again, are they talented? Yes. Now, has Joey been playing out of position in Inglewood? Yes. He's not a 3-4 person. He's a 4-3 person. But again, if you don't have the people to run the wide nine, which is what they've been running the last few years, if it's not working, go to something else. You don't have the studs for the wide nine. Okay.
Bosa, or Joey, that is, specifically was out of position.
Yes. Okay. He did not play a 3-4 Ohio State. He played in the 4-3. Same with Nick.
Well, the thing about it is, and I agree with you, and maybe I need to watch more Chargers games, but I could have sworn he still had his hand in the dirt.
He did, but he was still playing he was part of the 3-4. He was basically playing linebacker, which is out of position. He's not a linebacker. He's a defensive end.
Well, and I agree, but it's an interesting take, and I'll tell you why. When you start to break down what teams are doing, like a lot of people didn't know, with the Cowboys last year, they played a hybrid 3-4, and so it's interesting that there are defensive coordinators out there that play hybrid systems of 3-4-4-3. So it's an interesting concept that has been pushed out there, which is why you see with you saw with the Cowboys, you saw a lot of A gap coverage on either side of the center to show a blitz look and then back out of it or bring it. So it's just an interesting concept that that you run. And you might be right. Bosa did play defensive end. He didn't play linebacker. However, if he was not a stand-up linebacker, because most of the time your edge rusher in a 3-4 is stand-up, if he still has his hand in the dirt, then he would almost become a true defensive end with a linebacker outside of him. Which, if that was the case, then I understand what you're saying about the lanes opening up, but that would allow him to be more of a free rusher, because as a true defensive end in a 3-4, you're supposed to occupy that outside edge, so that way the linebacker outside of you can still get the corner or cut up underneath you. So it's interesting, and like I said, I need to watch more Chargers games, because I also think that I happen to think you're right with a dub, and I think that I don't know that him going to Frisco is the answer. I think that he needs to be in a true in a situation where he could play as a true defensive end, but he's gonna have to he's gonna have to play where they are looking for him to get the edge and not have gap responsibility. Because with gap responsibility, like you said, quarterbacks are going to run all day on
him. That's been his saying the whole time. So I've been agreeing with him. I've never disagreed when he made that statement.
Well, I mean, if that's the Bosa brothers' way of playing football, then if you don't have gap integrity, then you're not going to stop the run either. And I'm not just talking about from a quarterback. I'm also talking about from a running back.
Yeah. But again, well, first off, they made the mistake by giving DeForest Buckner's money to Eric Armstead. Eric Armstead benefited off of one good year because he had DeForest Buckner, but instead you paid Armstead, not Buckner, and now Buckner's Indiana. That was mistake number one. Mistake number two was not re-signing DJ Jones, who took the money and went to Denver. Even though DJ Jones has not panned out in Denver, you didn't bring him back. Now, yes, I'm glad they re-signed Kevin Givens, who has been very, very solid and steady. But you need to figure out who's going to be in the middle. Who's going to be your minimum? Because let's say let's say the BS does happen that I don't want, and they do bring in Joseph Anthony Bosa to be on the other side of Nicholas Jonathan Bosa. Who in the hell is going to be your clogs in the middle? Who's that going to be? Who's going to be? That's my question. Who's going to be your two guys plugging up the middle? Now, if you add Mason Graham with the 11th pick in the draft,
ooh, I don't think he falls that far though.
I don't either. I don't. But if a miracle just happens to happen, hey, then okay, then we're cooking with some grease here.
Well, you know what? I didn't expect Brock Bowers to make it that far, so anything can happen.
Oh yeah, stranger things have happened before, as we know.
Yes.
So I mean that just remains to be seen. So we'll see.
Well, the thing about it is we can discuss the weaknesses and the needs for every team. Obviously, they're not going to. Some of them will not be even close to each other. But what I'm getting at is a breakdown for the draft is what we had talked about doing. And I think we still need to do that. But I think that in reality, when you guys are talking about the situation that we are talking about, can a Mason Graham fall to the Niners? Yeah, he actually could.
It could.
But, most of these teams are smart enough. They start to build their teams a little bit in free agency so they could take the best player available to them on the board.
Because again,
rather than having to draft for need.
Because again, if they decide to bring him, okay. First off, this would be his 10th season. Okay, so in 9 seasons, he's only played a full season 3 times.
Who are we talking about?
Talking about Joseph Anthony Bosa.
Bosa.
The last time he played a full season was 4 years ago in 2021. Okay. 2022, 5 games. 2023, 9 games. Last year, he just happened to play in 14. But his rookie year, only played 12. 2017, played a full season. 2018, 7. 2019, played a full 16. 2020, only played 12. So.
Okay. I thought we were talking. I lost something in the translation. I must not have been listening and looking at something because I thought we were talking about who's going to be playing defensive tackle for you, and then I heard
he went backwards.
He hasn't played. That's why I was like,
I went backwards because I'm trying.
He went backwards.
I'm trying to get the faithful to understand. You are asking for another D4 situation.
Oh, so you're talking about rumors within your organization and what might happen with them trying to bring both of the Bosa brothers together. That's just what I think will happen because again, as I've always said, they're talented players. They can get to the quarterback, but their problem has been they are known to get injured. Joey more so than Nick, but they're both prone to getting injuries. Well, yeah, and the thing about it
because
is,
again, I go back to D4. D4 got traded to the Niners in 2019. Okay, plays 11 games. Then the Niners decide to pay his ass. 2020 only plays in 1 game. 2021 his last year in the NFL, 6 games.
Yeah, it happens. I put this up because I would just want to take a look at this real quick with him saying that you have the QBs and the wide receivers. Don't forget about Will Johnson and Travis Hunter. Well, Travis Hunter is not going to play, but sparingly at wide receiver in the NFL. He's going to be drafted as a cornerback. I can tell you that right now. Wow. They'll have plays for him, but I could tell you his rookie season, he'll be playing on the offensive side of the ball very sparingly. Whoever drafts him, don't care who drafts him. That's what's going to wind up happening. So if you take a look at team needs and you take a look at the draft order, then, and I'm pulling it up right now. So when I take a look at these teams and how they're drafting, so Tennessee's going number 1. I think they're taking a quarterback. My personal opinion.
They really are linked right now to Cam Ward. Looks like Cam Ward might be the number 1 draft pick in the draft.
Yep.
That might be the best one to go with.
Cleveland is a 50-50 shot that they draft a quarterback or another player, which personally I think that in their situation.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, hey, Sebastian Janikowski was a good Raider.
He was for a long time.
Yeah, he was a good Raider.
I honestly think that they, because of
I'm a Raider
who
fan.
they have,
Good Raider.
I think because of who they have, I honestly think that Carter is the number 2 pick for Cleveland.
Abdul Carter?
Yep.
He goes where?
To Cleveland.
Pair him with Myles Garrett.
That'd be nasty.
Now that they've signed Myles Garrett to that hefty, it'll be an interesting twosome. Then we drop to the Giants. I think the Giants take a quarterback, and I think they take Sanders.
Yep. If they don't sign Aaron Rodgers,
I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just saying it. Does Aaron Rodgers really want to stay in New York after what he looked like?
He is rumored to possibly be signing in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Good luck to him. I would love to destroy his ass twice a year.
I'm sure you would.
The Patriots, for me, I think that they're probably going to wind up getting an offensive lineman. I'm guessing probably a tackle because they got to.
Who's that top tackle? Where is he coming out from?
Talking about the Texas tackle.
I think that. Yep.
Now Jacksonville, I think, in all honesty, I think they're going to take a wide receiver. I mean, what receivers do they have left?
Worthy from Texas? I mean, I'm sorry, Golden from Texas.
Golden?
Yeah.
I don't know that it's necessarily going to be either one. I think they might be looking at the kid out of Arizona.
Tat McMillan?
Oh, yep. From Arizona. Yeah.
I mean,
they need a playmaker. I think
Tat McMillan can play. I have been high on this young man since last season.
The 2 guys that you just said, Dub, they're more speed guys, and I think they need a number 1, and I think the Tech is more of a number 1.
No, when I was saying Worthy, I was really trying to say Golden because obviously they both went to Texas, but I meant Golden, but Worthy just came out of my mouth.
Yeah, I knew who you meant.
I caught you.
But like I said,
so
I've been saying all offseason, I think that Tat McMillan is going to be a game changer for somebody's squad, whoever drafts him. I really do believe that.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I would agree.
Oh yeah, I would not.
The Raiders.
Thank you, sir.
I think.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. We definitely appreciate it.
Thanks, man. And I go to the Raiders.
I would take him too if he makes it down there. I'll take him.
The Raiders in my eyes are going to wind up taking I think, and this is not going to be your favorite, but I think that they're going to wind up taking Genty. Just saying.
No. I don't mind that.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind that.
I think he goes there. Then when we get to the Jets, to me, the Jets need a quarterback, but I don't think there's another quarterback that they can look at.
So do they take Will Johnson?
No, I think that the Jets. I think this is where we actually see a trade back.
Okay.
For another team.
Somebody trade up.
Yeah, for somebody to trade up. I think this is a spot where I would see a team jump up, depending on who's there. that this could be a trade up. But if not, this is where I have Mason Graham going.
Okay.
Is to the Jets.
Yeah.
Then you go to Carolina. Carolina needs an edge rusher. They need a defensive tackle. And let's face it, they need a wide receiver. So I think that you could see one of the kids from Texas going here very easily. Then we go to the Saints. They're going to need they just re-signed Chase Young today.
Yes.
They did.
But I think they're going to need another edge to put with him. So I think that they're going to wind up with another edge rusher at the ninth pick, if there's somebody that they feel is high enough on their board to do that.
Who's out there?
Yep. Chicago Bears offensive lineman, done deal.
Easy.
They're
Easy. I would say easy.
Yeah, they need somebody to protect their quarterback,
Well,
Caleb
Will
Williams.
Will Campbell from LSU was there.
Yep.
Well, you know
then
what?
we go to your 49ers.
You talked about an edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets could get Shamar Stewart from Texas A&M.
Okay, that's not bad either.
I don't think they need an edge as much as they need a defensive tackle. That's where they're the lightest. Then going back to your 49ers, personally, I think your biggest need right now is corner. And
Will Johnson?
Yeah, that would probably have to be the but did you see what Will Johnson ran in his 40?
No, I did not.
Want to say it was like just under 4.5. So he's not the most fleet of foot. And then I'll end up with my team. That way all three of our teams get mentioned in this. I think the Cowboys, if they want to go running back, I think the kid out of North Carolina, Amari, why can't I think of his last name?
Hamilton?
Yeah, yes. I think he is the pick. He's friggin' big, man. 6 foot 220. And that would give them two running backs that are 220 because the kid that they just got from Denver is 5'10", 220.
Was it Javonte Williams?
Javonte Williams.
Yeah. That was a good signing right there. Honestly, that was a good signing right there.
I still think he has some good years left in him. I think
that's why I said that was. I think that was a good signing right there.
Him right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know enough about the kid. I don't know if he's a one cut running back. I have no idea. I haven't seen him, and I don't know anything about his hands. I know that Sean Payton looks for certain things in his running backs. And one of the things that he looks for in his running backs is the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He doesn't want a power back.
No.
So if that's what you're telling me this kid was, it would make sense as to why they didn't re-sign.
He's pretty decent. From what I've seen, he'll be okay. He's a good versatile back, I would say.
Well, I'm interested to see what happens with them. I just want to see.
He averages 4 yards a carry, so he gets you yardage. Like I said, he had a knee injury. He's coming back from that. He's also a North Carolina running back, so there's that.
Well, so I had to look at things that I could the tangibles, right? 5'10", 212. Big hands, 9.38 inches. But this was his draft grade coming out, was a 6.4. Will become a good starter within 2 years. And what I was surprised by was his comp. His comp was Kareem Hunt.
Okay, well, I'll tell you like this. Okay, you talked about hands. Okay, He had 43 catches as a rookie in 2021, 16 in 2022. That's because he had the injury. 47
Yes.
catches in 2023, and he had 52 catches last year, this past season. Now, his rookie year, almost ran for 1,000 yards, ran for 903. Next year, obviously, missed most of the year, ran for 774, and then ran for 513 because he was sharing the backfield. But what I'm saying is, he might not could be a bell cow, but he can definitely catch the ball out of the backfield.
He can
He's
produce.
sharing. He's sharing the. I think what we're going to wind up seeing is you're going to wind up seeing 2 starting caliber running backs in Dallas. I think that they are still going to wind up drafting another running back, even though they have this kid. I think they're going to draft another running back because it's
Now,
not going to be running back.
Now, would you be mad if the Cowboys took Genty? If he just happened to slip to y'all, would you be mad if they took him?
No, not at all.
Okay. I just want to ask that question.
It's the same thing that I'll say. If they draft Genty, okay, that's.
I mean, you can't go wrong with an offensive weapon. The only thing that bothers me about Genty was in that one of the playoff games is they really showed that he can be fumble prone.
Yeah,
and that
was an issue against Penn State, absolutely, and it seemed like he did not recover.
That is a very good fact. Yeah.
Well,
that's a very good fact.
There's also one fumble. Usually, when a running back holds the ball high and tight, you don't get those fumbles. But I watched 2 come from him holding the ball high and tight, which makes me wonder. Because the one thing I didn't look at was his bio, and
so is he not,
maybe he's got smaller hands.
Yo.
How you doing, Brian?
How's it going?
Let's see what they say about his hands. I want to see what. No, he's got decent sized hands too. They have him graded at a 715, which let me go down to the grades. 715 would be a Pro Bowl talent.
Oh.
Very interesting.
According to his measurables, which production score is a 98, athleticism score is an 83, and total score was a 95. So, be interesting, man. Be interesting to see where all this goes. Yeah. I know that the draft is now, we're what, 2 months away?
No, we're next month.
Away.
Next month. Next month.
Month and a half. Today's a month and a half.
March 24th, 23rd. So we're.
I think it's the 24th through the 23rd.
April. Excuse me, April 23rd.
No, April 23rd is a Wednesday. It's the 24th.
Okay, so yeah, Thursday. Yep. That means I think I'm off that day.
Yeah, I might be
in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
I think I might be off that day.
Oh, you'll be right there. You'll be near it because it's in Green Bay.
Yeah, we'll be flying back. I got some work stuff I'm doing. We've got a training, and I'm supposed to be going to it. So,
oh yes, man.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to flying to Chicago. Let me tell you.
Like a little summit, huh?
Yeah.
Well, if you have the chance to take a picture of Wrigley Field, do so.
Well, we're supposed to be going to a game at Wrigley.
Oh, nice!
Beautiful.
Nice.
It's our manufacturer is putting on the training, and I think it's Tuesday night that we're there.
On the company. Ooh, to see it at night.
Yeah.
I mean, a day game would be night, but to see Wrigley at night.
Well, just to be at Wrigley, period, would be 100%. Awesome.
100%.
Oh yeah, agreed.
100%.
So that's one of the things that we're looking to do.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. I don't know 100% that I'm going, but if I'm going, cool. Go to Wrigley, another stadium I could check off my list of stadiums that I've been to.
Some beer.
If I start going to NFL stadiums and I do one a year, it'll only take me 31 years to cover the rest of them. because I've never seen a pro football game live. But now that I've kind of calmed down with all the BS that was going on with the Cowboys in the offseason, I might be willing to go watch the Cowboys and the Raiders.
Let's go. That's all I need to hear.
Might be willing.
I think I can try to wiggle to get the fam down there, and there might be a possibility that you might meet my dad too.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because he already said next year he don't care what game it is, he's going to Vegas to watch the Raiders play. And I'm like, well, let's go to the Dallas game because that's my wife is a Dallas fan and yada yada yada. Well, of course he knows that, but so we might get Pops at that game.
Crooked Commish. That's a good name.
Oh, I like that. What's happening?
What's up?
Is that a Bears fan?
That is a Bears logo, yes.
Hey, my cousin's a Bears fan. So
Bears have made some moves.
Bears have definitely made some moves.
Should I call you Commish? Either way, we're just talking about some of the moves that the Bears made as of today.
Yeah.
With the offensive lineman being picked up, and we'll see what else happens with the Bears. I think they have a couple of more moves up their sleeve. And Dub's watching a game, I could tell.
Oh, my eyes are up there too, but I'm here.
Who did? Oh, no, sorry. Milton Williams went to. I keep thinking he went to Chicago, but he went to Patriots.
It's Grady Jarrett that went to the Bears.
That's right. That's right.
That's a nice. That's the middle piece. That's a good.
Well, I mean,
good rotational piece.
And we could get in because Crooked Commish is on. We could get into it a little bit, but I mean, look, the Bears needed help, and I think that one of the things that worried me the most was who are they going to pick up as their defensive coordinator. We know that their offense is going to be pretty stout, but what are they going to do as far as their defense goes? And I would agree they got a little piece, but I think that they need, really need to get that pass rushing defensive pass.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what about Dub.
Well, who just got signed?
No one's just got signed, but there is some news talking about Joseph Anthony Bosa. Basically, it's down to two teams. My team, unfortunately, being one of them, and the other team being the Miami Dolphins.
So you wouldn't mind seeing them in Miami?
Well, that's where they're from. They're from Florida. So go home. Go home, Joe.
You know what? I really think you don't want him to sign with the Niners because you don't want to hear my mouth.
No, because you're gonna talk anyway to my talk down to my fan base anyway.
Might be a little part of it.
You wanted to happen because this is what you want out of me. This is exactly what you want out of me.
Show it.
That's exactly what you want. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Well, he wants passion, but he also wants to talk a little ish.
That too, but more so, he wants this out of me.
Because, like you said, I'm going to talk regardless. Bosa can sign wherever, but if he signs with Niners, it just gives me a little more to just to poke at him.
Now see, he's already okay. Having to see Josh Sweat twice a year, I'm not looking forward to. Just like he has to see Dre Greenlaw twice a year.
Not ready for that.
And now he's got to see Antioch, California twice a year wearing the dang lightning.
Definitely not ready to see that either. Twice a year.
But you know what?
Because Harbaugh's going to use him. Harbaugh is going to make Najee Harris.
Yes.
He's already been 1,000 plus since he's been in the league, but Harbaugh is going to make him a lot more better than what he is. The potential is going to come out more. It's scary.
I mean,
it's scary.
I don't like Greg Roman at all. But one thing Greg Roman has always done well is he has utilized his running backs very well. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I have to give Greg Roman credit for. He knows how to utilize running backs. As much as I don't like his play calling, because I can't
in certain situations. Situations.
But
what's my biggest question though about Harris is his pass catching ability out of the backfield.
It's decent. It ain't the greatest.
Well, the thing about it is I'm not, and obviously Cowboys But my second favorite team had been the Steelers for a long time. And it's there's a huge gap. I know. But there's
Okay, first off, Cowboys fans will have to question you. Why would you want to, of all teams, to be your second team? Why would it be the one that has broken your heart the most in Super Bowls?
respect.
Well, hey, say less.
Respect. So,
nothing else needs to be said after that.
I've watched Harris for obviously since his rookie season, which his rookie season, let's face it, was his best season.
Mm-hmm.
And ever since then, he has his running capability, his elusiveness has fallen off. But the one thing that I disagree with, I don't think that his pass catching out of the backfield is the greatest. I don't like the way he sets himself up.
Decent.
And decent to me would be, let me think about this for half a second. Decent to me would be Rico Dowdle for the Cowboys this past season. That was decent. He came out of the backfield. He made a handful of catches. He made some really good catches. That was decent. And when you look at Harris, I don't see that out of him. You don't see that out of him. And so my curiosity, because I really think that in the situation that he's going to with the Chargers, I think one of the biggest things that he needs to be able to do is catch out of the backfield. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be very interesting to me because we saw them use a lot of their running backs out of the backfield this past season with the Chargers as their checkdowns. And it was also their quarterback's greatest need because he wasn't always finding wide open receivers or throwing them open. So, you know what? Okay, he's there now. All I could say is, coach, get him some hands from pick and save and hope they work. That's all I'm going to say.
Not the pick and save.
Folks, unless you were growing up in the 70s and 80s, you don't know what pick and save is.
Not the pick and save. Good Lord. That's throwback right there.
That is very throwback.
Right now. The dollar store. There you go. Go get them some hands from the dollar store. Hope they work.
That's equivalent.
I don't know who save is.
Or pay less.
Yep.
Oh, well. So, know about all that, too. Know about that store, too.
But of course, Thrifty's some of the best ice cream you'll ever have in life.
Oh, yes. Thrifty's right there on Las Vegas Boulevard was probably the best. But going back to, what we're talking about with some of these teams, and I wanted to finish up a little bit with the Crooked Commish because of his good old
the Bears.
The Bears.
I think they're going to be much improved. I think they're going to be a better team. I think I'm not going to sit there and tell you that they're going to rival anybody or fight with anybody for number one in the division, but I think they make it to the playoffs.
Ooh, Bears is a wild card team. Ooh.
So are we spoiling? Do we got a little spoiler when we do our football show, our picks?
Oh, you mean for next season?
Yeah, is that a little spoiler right there?
What, that they're going to the playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
This is true.
And I mean,
played for Lombardi.
With Ben Johnson being their head coach and that defense not being that bad last year, I think that they can, he could put some things together.
And not to mention, they signed a very good center and they signed another offensive lineman.
They shored up that line.
What I'm getting at more so is make Caleb Williams more consistent. He had good games last year and then fell completely off the wagon in some of the other games. If he's consistent over those games, they would have been in the playoffs last year. I mean, let's be real.
That Washington game was
that was the straw that broke their back.
That Hail Mary.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, look at
that salvaged their season.
Look where Washington was last year.
Correct.
Look what they were able to do,
mm-hmm.
and look what the Bears were able to do to the Commanders.
When they like 4-2 at that
the
game.
Bears were 4. The Bears were 4-2 in that game.
Yeah. And you went all downhill right after that game.
And that pretty much that game for the Commanders sparked them to get to the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying.
But they did lose a key piece because Dommy Brown, the receiver, he's now a Jacksonville Jaguar.
Ooh.
And that's true. But like I said, so don't forget, you're also talking about a team who has a 10th pick overall in this upcoming draft.
Yes.
They're going to find some playmakers. So that's why I'm saying, be surprised if the Bears wind up being in the playoffs this coming season.
Yeah.
Well, that will make the Bears sing "Bear Down" very loudly and proudly if that was the case.
Well, you got a little shift. We already know who the head honcho is of the division. It's the Lions.
Yes, it's the Lions. Yes,
you know that. The Lions are the head honcho.
Well, the Vikings come back down to earth after their.
We don't know yet, especially with Darnold gone now. It's McCarthy show. It's McCarthy show.
I got to argue a little bit on this because you guys brought up a couple of things which I don't necessarily agree with. And one of them is the fact that the Lions are the head honcho of this division. I think they lost too much in the coaching staff for them to just pick things back and be there next season.
But until you beat them.
But the thing about it is, look what the Commanders did to them.
Correct.
Now, granted, they had a snot load of injuries, but you also got rid of your offensive coordinator, your defensive coordinator. You also lost some of your assistant coaches with those two. So you're in a situation right now.
Unfortunately,
where that's your coaching staff.
That's the casualties of winning. Unfortunately,
exactly. And so we know where this team is truly going to be next season. So right now, in my mind, there's a hodgepodge between Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, and now Chicago.
If it ain't the Lions, then it would have to be more the Packers.
I would have to give it to the Packers right now.
They're the more kind of structured team there. So yeah, that got me to think on that one. But the Bears are not too far off, especially with the moves they've made, and they can build off what they did last year because they were not far off into that Hail Mary.
Well, like I said, you're going to have you have a different coaching regime in there now. That is offensive minded, and I think this is where Caleb is going to finally, his talent will finally show because. Even coming out of college, I said he was going to be a bust. And the reason why I said he was going to be a bust wasn't because he was not talented. It was mental.
You did say that.
You have to be the first one in the building. You have to be the last one to leave. I think Ben Johnson is going to bring that out of him. I think that he's going to be a better quarterback because Johnson is there.
Him and Rome can be nice. Him and Rome can be real nice together.
And DJ Moore.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, that's why I'm saying if everything goes to plan for them, in other words, they don't have any major injuries, and especially Caleb getting injured, they don't have any major injuries. That's why I'm saying I think they'll be a playoff team next year. I think the team that's going to take the biggest step back, unfortunately, is Detroit. Detroit or Minnesota. I'm kind of up in the air. When we get through the draft, I'll make more of a point on who I think. But right now, between those two teams.
I agree.
Another point.
I agree.
I mean, Green Bay is the wild card all this because they could take over and possibly win the division. I mean, that remains to be seen, but we know this. We know this about the NFL. It's a year-to-year league. It always is. It always has been. So
it will be.
So who's going to be the new darling in 2025? That's the question.
Well, I can tell you who the new darling is not going to be, and that is Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh yeah, they're gonna. It is not going to. It is not going to surprise me one bit if they don't even make the playoffs this year.
Not at all. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that it's a situation where Kansas City right now is looking up at the rest of the division and a lot of the AFC, because this is going to sound really shitty, but I don't care. For whatever reason, they didn't pay the refs enough. So I think that this is going to be a step back for them. And I'm sorry, but I think that the Philadelphia Eagles showed a perfect game plan on how to beat them. And
Vic Fangio was fantastic.
He was.
Because this is such a copycat league, you're
Yep,
going to see
always has been.
doing the exact same thing.
Well, not just in addition to that, again, and it happened to my team. All those years of long runs in the playoffs, it gets to you. And I think now it's going to finally start to get to the Chiefs.
Well, I mean, dude, it's also age. How old is Kelsey?
True. Who does plan on coming back for another season?
Yeah,
and hopefully he won't look like Saturday Night Fever like he did the Super Bowl, trying to do his best John Travolta impression. Dancing to the Bee Gees.
Personally, I'd like the hair. I'd like his hair cut down to where it was before he met this Taylor, whatever, hiding two ham hocks in the back of her pants. I would prefer no body having. I would prefer him go back to the old Kelsey than the one with her, because the one with her I just don't like.
I like this Kelsey. Confused. Not on football. Not destroying my team twice a year. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm with that. Huh? Oh, yeah, that's right, because you're a Raider fan. But bottom line is,
now we're all flagged. This will be copywritten. Just all those pictures.
Does it really matter?
No.
But the thing about it is, this is all I'm saying, and that is that I'd much rather Kelsey go back to his old ways, because I also thought he was a better football player as well.
No, I can't. As a non-Raider fan, when Kelsey is on, the Chiefs are pretty fucking unstoppable. I just don't like to see it.
But what we can tell you, folks, we are 6 days away.
Woo!
So 1-3P didn't happen in one football league. Will it happen in this football league? That is the American Sevens Football League, coming to you on March 16th.
Can't wait.
I heard Bird told me that the championship was going to be down in Bullhead again. Anyway.
Well, that's funny, because there was some stuff that I saw saying that the Final Four was going to be in our neighbors. Yes, and that the championship was going to be back on the East. But, I don't know, because they like to keep things close to the vest.
Championship is because we were there last year. It's supposed to be here this year. It's supposed to come back.
Oh, okay. Well,
so that's what I heard.
Travis is a bum. That's what I heard. Bum or not, that bum was destroying teams. So
yes, he was.
If that's the case, I'm all for it.
Same.
Because that atmosphere that we was in 2 years ago in that field house was wow.
I will definitely have to be there for that.
Oh, it was wild. I don't know if we could get another one like that. That was a wild time.
And you can go 75 on the highway going towards Laughlin.
And not to mention all the drinking that happened the night before.
And unfortunately, that's where I got the other infamous nickname, brought to you by one Mr. Luis Ojeda.
Yes. Mr. Batch.
And then Corey Hammond, being Corey Hammond, has ran with it ever since.
Wait. Charlie Batch?
Okay.
How do you think they call him Uncle Charlie?
It's story time, boys and girls. So it's the Duncans. It's Chris.
Yes.
It's myself, Casey Cox.
Because my wife was there too.
I said Mr. Vera. Oh, that's right. Tammy was there. Okay. So it's the Veras, the Duncans, Mr. Ojeda, Casey, myself, Corey A. Smith, a.k.a. Corey Hammond, and two of my favorite people in the world, the Branches, Miss Ebony and Mr. Jeremiah Branch.
Wait. You left one out.
Who?
Because he was there.
Who was there?
Coach.
Mike Tice wasn't there.
Okay, talk to Luis. He was there when he first called you that.
Coach Tice was not there.
The first time he called you that, he was there.
I only remember the time where everyone else was there. I don't.
Okay, because don't you remember that he followed Casey followed Luis to the bathroom, and the first thing that Coach said was, "Where in the hell is he going?"
Well, that's anyhow. So we're all having drinks at the bar.
Yes.
Okay. And of course, Mr. Ojeda is a Cowboys fan, so we're just talking stuff, and then just out of nowhere, Luis says, "Doug, you know who you look like?" I said, "Who?" He says, "Charlie Batch."
Oh, baby.
The whole table is losing its mind. Here comes Corey Hammond. Once I see it, I can't unsee it now.
Yeah.
So, therefore, they have been running with that ever since. And then when we were in the studio at Quan Studio, they would always put up the doggone picture of Charlie Batch over my face.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So that is how the story of Charlie Batch came upon. Added to the many nicknames I don't like being called, but there we go. But I will say this: I will take Charlie Batch over some of the nicknames any day of the week. That we're not going to say on this air.
You sure?
You know what, a-hole? You know what?
I'm like it to you.
Those particular names I have dealt with for 20 plus years, dadgummit. No.
What would be even better is if Charlie Batch played for the Niners. His career. That would have been even.
Oh, now I really can't unsee it.
Well, he did get a ring being the backup to Big Ben, so there's that. He does have a shiny ring.
This is true.
Who has a shiny ring?
Charlie Batch. He was Big Ben's backup in Pittsburgh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Forgot about that.
Yep.
Oh, nice pass.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, got a little bit excited. But yes, a lot of stuff going on here in the NFL.
A lot, and it's only day one of tampering. Yeah. The league year does not open up until Wednesday.
Yeah, we do know that the Titans perhaps are eyeing a possibility with Russell Wilson. That remains to be seen. But of course,
you said Titans with Russell Wilson?
There's an interest there. Yeah, we don't know if it's going to happen or not, but there is an interest there. Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. Dear God. We have fully gone off the rocker on this show.
I couldn't help it.
Mizzle has fallen and he can't get up.
I couldn't.
Nicole, come help your husband. Mizzle has not recovered. God. He is down. He is down for the count.
I gotta love when you can do stuff like this.
I couldn't help it.
This is why we do it. Well, many of reasons.
I was looking for a Balder picture, but I couldn't find like what. Oh, here's the one that they used to put up all the time for Dubs.
Here we go.
This is the one that
he's found the Quan archives. Good Lord.
Oh boy.
This is the one that that's the one that he used to put up all the time.
On that, folks, good night.
Fellas, it's been fun, man. I
always love talking it with you guys, man. This is great.
I should probably stop sharing.
But again, don't forget. Friendly reminder coming up to you in 6 days. Ace NFL Nevada, Ace NFL East Coast, Ace NFL Midwest coming to you, taking place live. The Insomniacs start defense of their title on Sunday.
Hey, by the way, since we only have one game on Sunday,
I thought it was two.
Really?
Well, we have two games. One's the game of the week.
Yeah,
We're not announcing it.
Yeah, we're only broadcasting one game.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what I'm going to do with myself for the other game. Everybody get your mind out the damn gutter.
What?
Friggin' childish.
Hold on, let me.
That's good.
I'm going here to the schedule here. Let's take a look here.
Games at 1 and 4.
Okay, so there is no 10 o'clock game. Okay.
No, the 10 o'clock game is the game of the. Is that the game of the?
There is a 10 o'clock game, but it's East Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So their game starts at 1 as well, but it's the East Coast game of the week. So it'll be 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then we have games. They have games going on back east, and then our first game, I believe, is 1 o'clock. Our second game is at 4. So, and I believe it's a second game that is game of the week. So we will not be calling that game.
Okay, so I'm confused. Is it okay? So, game of the week will be Hunters against Sick. That will be the game of the week that we won't do.
Correct.
So we do get to call the Insomniacs and the Gold.
Correct. And by the way, just so you know, Mr. Branch is on the Gold.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they've got 30. I want to say 30 players.
Wow.
On the Gold.
Hey.
Wow.
Why?
Okay.
Got, I believe, 30 players on the Hunters.
Well, I know the Hunters added Savion and Cool K Shepherd.
Yep. And you're also talking about, of all things, there is no OTT.
Wow.
So the running back for the Stealth happens to be one G Hurd.
Ooh.
The titanium is strong with him.
So hope everybody's ready for a lot of movement in teams, and you don't know what is going to be coming.
Okay,
this is going to be an interesting season. I can say for sure.
So from the looks of things, there's only going to be 2 games per Sunday.
Correct.
And we're only going to be broadcasting 1 game.
Well, no, not every Sunday is one of our games going to be the game of the week.
Okay.
So we will be broadcasting 2 games, but this Sunday just 1.
Okay, well, I think I have an idea of what game we're not going to be doing this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, sick with it. Insomniacs.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
And my guess is going to be any pairing of Sick, Insomniacs, and Stealth will be my guess. Any pairings of those 3, we probably won't be doing either. Since the Stealth is self-proclaiming that they're going to go undefeated, and I'm not knocking them by any stretch of the imagination. I just don't know the team enough to back that.
Does that mean that one team per week will get a bye week?
Correct.
Yep. Okay. So it's almost kind of like the last fall brawl that we did.
Yes.
So one team got a bye week. Okay.
It'll make it for a shorter day. I mean, we're not broadcasting 4 friggin' games every Sunday.
Well, that's the fun. Well, that was the fun part for me, though. But I get it.
Doing 2 games is good enough.
I get it. I get it.
Damn it. So that means super late night edition. Because normally I got home at the same time.
No more super late night podcast for you guys, because our last game is at 4 o'clock our time. 7 o'clock is when we'll be done.
Well, on weekends that he has to work, there'll still be a late night edition.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because he's working
until I find that Monday through Friday, which I'm working on.
On days that he has the weekends off, yes, it can be an earlier version, and we can, and hopefully we can get players to come on the show and talk about what happened in this, then the third,
or even have coaches.
Yep.
Yeah. So
we're going to be doing. That's one thing that they're going to push us to do is a little bit more interviews, coaching interviews, and player interviews in between games and after games.
Well, you and I both know trying to get sick with it for interviews is a tough task.
Yeah. definite. You know what? I forgot to ask Ahmad if he's coming back this season.
Yes.
I gotta send him a text and find out.
Interesting to see exactly what kind of sick with a team we're going to have. But like I said on the last other side of the ball, which you can catch the latest one on this is on Wednesday, I'm not going to put anything past Mark Gray because Mark Gray is a very good coach and he's a very good recruiter. So I'm not going to put anything past him for them saying that sick is just going to completely fall off the Richter. You don't know who Mark Gray is.
No,
I don't believe that either.
That's why I didn't agree with the whole thing of Sick's going to be, the third or fourth team in this division. I don't believe that. I think Mark is savvy enough and good enough that I really truly believe that.
Well, again,
team's going to come up and play.
This is their their third season in the league, and only one team has beat them, and they just happen to be the team that has gone back to back the last 2 seasons.
Yep. And might be on the realm to 3-peat because I've seen some of the other linemen they've got coming out to play with them. Ooh. So we'll see.
So if you thought Oos and Kenny Mack was a handful,
just wait. But anyway, gentlemen,
I can't wait to get a hold of these rosters because that's what I need so I can do my job effectively.
Talk to me Friday. I should have them for you.
All right.
All right.
Well, folks, appreciate you guys hanging with us on this special Talking Issues. We talk about NFL free agency madness. It's just day 1, folks, and there's more to come. But again, don't forget to check out the other side of the ball coming up to you on this upcoming Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. with myself, Chris, Corey, and possibly Scooter Hamilton. And also, don't forget the All-Pro Jaffos every Tuesday and Friday. And also, go to Jaffos TV and check out Indie Vibes with DJ Matchsticks. That started at 7 p.m., so go catch the latest edition right there. As you see, Mizzle modeling off the All-Pro Jaffos shirt. And, of course, the Mizzle and Dub Show. Obviously, the Mizzle and Dub Show. Anytime we want to do a show, we just do a show. We just don't have a set time. So, we just happen to see us go on air. We're just on air. So, that's just the way it is. But special thanks to all you guys hanging with us. For Chris, for Mizzle, I'm Dub. We're just 3 guys talking some ish.
Hasta la pasta.
Hey, hasta luego.
I'll just say, yeet.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with a yeet. Yeet.